Alright guys, so just like the last update, I am deciding to make a video on how I beat the new Nightmare difficulty. And if you guys don't know, Dungeon Quest came out with a new update, and it's a King's Dungeon, I believe. And I figured I would just show you guys what equipment I'm using. Obviously my stuff's going to be a little bit better than what you guys will probably be using. And I do decide to use the glacial blows instead of some of the other things that you can use for your abilities. It's mostly because it does the most damage while being safe. I could use the other things and maybe finish quicker, but I'll probably take more damage in the process. So I definitely just prefer using the glacial blows. And for the most part, if you're doing this solo, you're probably not going to be doing it as fast as you would as if you were doing it with 2 or 3 people. And if you don't have people to do this with in the Dungeon Quest Discord or even mine, there's a few people that are willing to group up, help each other out to get through the dungeon, especially on new updates. Everyone's trying to find people to party up with. But you guys probably already know that this one's pretty much like the other dungeons with the little creatures. They're pretty much the same. You have the one with the laser ability, the other ones that just kind of walk towards you, but then you also do have a new one on this update, which I believe they're called Hitman. And there's nothing too special about this new creature that they added, but basically if he runs up to you, he is faster than the other creatures, so he will catch up to you and he'll do his attack animation, but you don't get hit from it if you dodge, because his attack like hits the ground in front of him, and then if you're dodging to the left or right it shouldn't damage you. But yeah, like you've seen it right there. I think it might have hit me because I didn't dodge to the left or right, I was just running backwards. And I do get hit by a few lasers here eventually, but basically it's also just to show you guys how much damage they do. I have a lot of health if you didn't notice, so they don't really affect me too much, but I'm sure most of you guys are more wanting to see how I do the bosses by myself, which, speaking of bosses, we are walking into the first one right here, and as you guys can see, his first attack is basically lava on the sides and then lava on each side in the middle, and then the second attack is lava in the middle, then on the sides it's skipping a tile, and then he does a little spinny move that will hit you, and then it just repeats the process. If you have a healer in your group, you pretty much can tank the damage from the one attack, like that one right there. You could pretty much just sit in there and it won't one-shot you if you have more than 30,000 HP, I think. So if you have a healer, you pretty much can just stand there and keep doing damage to him. If you're always dodging, you shouldn't take any damage. I was kind of showing how the lava would hurt you and do damage to you if you stood in it or was too close. But for the most part, this boss is probably one of the easiest ones out of the 3. The second one is very quick after the first one, which I found a little weird when I was running through the dungeon for the first time, but basically, as soon as we kill these guys, we're into the next boss room. And this boss is probably the one that gives people the most trouble, because you can get very unlucky with it. But basically, if you have a healer, it's not really that big of a problem, but if you're solo, like I'm doing in the video, you definitely need to be able to dodge. So you'll have these circles that are spawning everywhere and blow up and do damage. You don't even have to be in the circle to get hit. If you're too close to the circle, you'll still take damage. Other than that, there's lines that are being on the ground, and he has an attack that comes out every few seconds. It's pretty much timed, and you just basically have to keep dodging. So you're going to watch the ground where the lines are showing up, watch his attack, make sure you're not walking into the circle. And I'm pretty sure after I got into the room, I didn't really take any damage. So for the most part, it's not too hard once you get it down and know the patterns, but it definitely was a struggle for a lot of people at first. And the final boss isn't really too bad either. Once again, I've said this like twice already, but if you have a healer, then nothing is too difficult in this new update. Pretty much if you have a group of like 2 or 3 people that you play with, any update that comes out, you should be able to pretty much man through the insane version and then work your way up to the nightmare. And for those of you that have made it this far into the video, I will have a giveaway on Discord of some of the better items in my inventory. It'll be one of the new weapons. I think you have to be level 75 to equip it, and maybe some, was it Beastly Guardian, I think, armor. I'll start a giveaway for that, and I'll put it for like 24 hours, so if you're in my Discord, make sure to check that out, and if you're not, the link is in the description. You'd have to go to the giveaway channel for that, and I was going to live stream this, but it took a little bit longer for me to get a group together and actually beat it, and I wasn't feeling too good this weekend, so I didn't really get a chance to live stream it. Hopefully next weekend I'll be able to do some carries and some really big giveaways also. But anyways, we are on the boss battle now, the final boss, and I'm not sure what really makes this happen, but sometimes he'll spawn lava in that room and it'll do damage to you. But I was trying to show it, but it didn't happen. But basically when you get to this part of the map, he'll start shooting his attack. And as long as you're dodging to the left and to the right, that attack should never hit you. And then after that attack, he will do a jumping attack, which you've seen there. It highlights the ground where he's going to land, and it will do damage. And then after that, he does his 3 attacks again, and we'll call this the first rotation. This is when he like turns the lights off and it goes dark and he jumps again. For the most part, you should always be able to leave the circle before it hits you, but sometimes you don't. And basically he just repeats the process after that and does the same thing. So it's pretty easy to do. Hope this video helped you guys if you were curious and kind of trying to figure it out. But yeah, if you liked the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I see you guys in the next one. See ya.